everyone, welcome back to the Mitten Players. I'm your host, Tim. In this episode, we're taking a trip to the east end of Grand Rapids and checking out Grand Rapids Circle Theater. I had the opportunity to chat with Shannon Heldt, Circle Theater's marketing and outreach coordinator. They just wrapped up their 2024 summer season and are shaping up to what's to come next year. If you're interested in what Circle Theater has to offer, sit back and check this out. All right, so would you care to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Shannon Heldt, and I'm the marketing and outreach coordinator for Circle Theater.
How did you get your start in theater?
Well, like most of us, I think I started in middle school. I believe it was 6th grade. I, tried out for the school play. It looked fun. My friends genuinely dragged me to the auditions because I was absolutely petrified to do it, but I was a very overdramatic child, so it was kind of up my alley a little bit. But I got into that show and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I just kept going down that route. Same thing with high school, big theater kid in high school. Tried to do a lot of stuff in college, even though that was during quarantine time, but still do what we can. But then I got an internship here in the box office, which was very exciting because I've grown up going to Circle shows and all of that. So, and then I became an actual box office associate after the internship. And then this position opened up and I applied and here I am. So there's the whole nutshell of my journey. So, big theater kid all around.
All around indeed.
All around, yeah.
What was your first experience with Circle Theater?
Ooh, I want to say I was about 13. My parents had gotten tickets to Jesus Christ Superstar, which was actually the last time that Circle did it. That was either in 2014 or 2013. I can't remember the exact year, but around there. They brought me to it because one of their friends had gotten sick and they wanted somebody to still use the ticket. And they're like, Shannon's old enough, let's bring her. And I saw the show and I was absolutely mesmerized. The man that played Judas, there was a scene where he chose somebody in the crowd to just absolutely stare into their soul, and it was me. And I was gripping my seat, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is really cool. Because, you're right up with them half of the time with the actors on stage, you're very visible. Mm-hmm. And so that was really cool, feeling like you're part of the performance and you're not just sitting in a movie theater or something mm-hmm. like that, where there's an entirely different world happening in front of you. It was very interactive, very right up in your face, but in the best possible way. And so after that I was like, yep, this is great. And then I've continued going to, shows there since. So here since. So yeah.
It's always got to be that one really specific moment that you're like, yep, mm-hmm. I want to do that mm-hmm. one of these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it. I was like, oh, got it. As soon as that eye contact and that soul staring was made, I was like, okay, everything's decided.
There we go.
Yeah, my future was made in that moment. So,
right there and there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what is Grand Rapids Circle Theater?
So Circle Theater is a community theater in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We have been in business since 1953. So I believe it's our 73rd season that we're going into, 72nd season, which is really exciting. We've gone through a variety of changes. We originally started at the Pantland Hotel, I believe, downtown. Way back when we first opened, and it was, very much like theater in the round. And then we moved to the Row Hotel, I believe. That could be vice versa. I always get them mixed up. But either way, then we moved to the Zoo, which is where we were for a long time, where it was Circle in the Park. And then back in 2003, we moved here. So we've been here at the Aquinas College Performing Arts Center. We work out of the building during the summer times. Aquinas Theater Department has their season during more school time, and the Catholic secondary schools like West Catholic and Catholic Central also work out of here as well for their spring mm-hmm. musicals and their fall plays and such. but we really stress being an intimate setting for theater. We are a thrust stage, and it's set below all of the audience members, so you really, there's not a bad seat in the house, which is great. You're right up with everybody performing on stage, and it's a really immersive experience. We do a variety of shows. We have a handful of special events. We have our main stage season, which is, combined of plays and musicals of all sorts. And then we have actually our summer concert series as well, which is, there's usually a theme to each concert. Like some of our last concerts was like jazz then and now. So it was a whole evolution of jazz music. Or we did Purple Rain, which was the music of Prince. We usually, do some sort of topic right for it. And then very talented West Michigan artists come together, both in the band and the singers and the designers and all of that, and we put on like cover shows, more or less, which is really fun. And then we have a Magic Circle production, which is our kids production, which is great for the family. There are other family shows available in the season as well, usually, but that's when it's our designated like kids show. That's great for all ages. So we do a lot here, and it's really fun. Just there's a little something for everybody. So
that was going to lead into my next question. That was going to lead into my next question. Can you tell us a little bit more about like what happened last season?
Absolutely. So last season it was a great season. Our 2024 season, we had Curious George and the Golden Meatball as our Magic Circle production. We opened our main stage season with Tick Tick Boom, which is very exciting. Just music. And then we went into You Can't Take It With You, which is a classic play, and then we 180'd it right into Monty Python's Spamalot, which is, if you know Monty Python, you get it.
That's
and
what's
then,
up.
Yeah. And then we did another 180 back into the serious and classic, but very beautiful story of A Raisin in the Sun. And we just finished our season with You're in Town, the musical, which is, not necessarily a farce in itself, but very, a satire. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Which was great. And then we had our summer concert series. We had Jazz Then and Now. We had Purple Rain, the music of Prince. We had dynamic duos, so it's the best pop and rock musical duos of all time. Like, Tina Turner, Ike and Tina Turner, and Sonny and Cher, etc. And then we had our dance sensations, which is, the best dance hits of all time. So, Dancing Queen, I want to dance with somebody more.
All of the above. All these great dance sensations.
Yes. So we really, it's always a big season. Every year, it's always, there's always
something great for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So. There's always something for everybody, which is really great, and something we always strive to make, available for everybody.
So Spamalot, otherwise known as the Monty Python musical, has been stuck in my head. And it's no surprise, especially with its recent Broadway revival that's been creating quite a buzz this past season. I had the opportunity to check out a preview of the show over at the Grand Rapids Circle Theater, and it was definitely an experience. While we only got to see a teaser of the show, the creative team has shown a tremendous passion for this project, and it's exciting to see how the experience is unfolding rehearsal after rehearsal. Over 120 different costumes are used in the show, not to mention the slapstick comedy, which is a hallmark of Monty Python. From outrageous sword fighting to absurd misunderstandings, all of these elements keep the audience laughing through the night. The show pays homage to the original film, while adding fresh elements that make the musical feel contemporary and relevant too. You can check out this holy grail of a musical. There was also the holiday soul celebration and the Guardians of the Galaxy compilation.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we started it last year, but we've started to do a holiday concert, which is very exciting. We're having the exact same thing this year, which we will be announcing today, actually. So later today. So it's a variety of West Michigan artists. Lisa Knight is the director, but we have Majestic Praise, which is a gospel group led by Deborah Perry, one of our frequent music directors here, which is fabulous. She's fabulous. Along with a bunch of other groups that come together for this great, just, soul celebration of holiday stuff, which is really exciting. So we will have that in December, and then we also have our season kickoff concert, which last season was the music of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So all the stuff from their movies, from all usually classic rock, but a lot of good just classic pop music too, from back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, all that time. Which was very great. It was a very, very fun time, and we always encourage people to dress up, which is always great. So, yeah, it was very, very exciting. We're announcing that later this week with the season kickoff. So we just finished rolling out our main stage season, and now we're rolling out our concerts this week over social media and stuff like that, publicly, I should say. So,
right,
yeah,
exciting, exciting stuff for sure.
Yes.
What are some of the shows people can look forward to at Circle next summer?
Oh, you can look forward to all of it. I'm so excited for the season. We are opening our season with our Magic Circle production, which is Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, the musical, based on the famous, pigeon books growing up, the children's book series. I grew up with it. I loved it. I'm sure you've read the books too when you were little and all of that. So
spoiler alert, I actually have not. But hey, I mean, I've heard of them. But
yes, that's what matters.
That's what at least matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that'll be really exciting and really fun. And then we open our main stage season with the prom, which is the first time that the prom is being done in this area. The rights just became available, so we jumped on it. So that's very exciting that we get to open with that show. Then in June, we get to hop on the funny train, the comedy train more or less, with the complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged, which is all 37 plays in 97 minutes. So it's a complete crazy train going forward, but it's so much fun. It's so funny. So I'm very, very excited for that show. Our July musical is going to be Dreamgirls, which hasn't been done here in the area for a hot minute. So that'll be very, very exciting. I love the music from that show. So, and then we have our August play, which is called Girls' Weekend. I believe it's also the first time it's been done in the area. It's a lot newer of a show, but it's a comedy of 4 women going up for a girls only, camping weekend more or less, and then it turns out to be basically the opposite. But it's very, very funny, a lot of physical humor. It should be a really great time. And then we're concluding the season with Jesus Christ Superstar. So that, if you know theater, you know Jesus Christ Superstar. If you really don't know theater, you've probably heard of Jesus Christ Superstar.
At least someone once or twice, yeah.
So that'll be a great way to end our season, and I'm very, very much looking forward to it and all of it. So yeah,
very exciting lineup for sure.
yes. I'm thrilled. So yeah.
What are some of the opportunities you guys offer volunteer-wise? Are there any opportunities for students?
Absolutely. We have a variety of volunteering opportunities. We have front of house volunteers, which can help with ushering or checking patrons in with their tickets or running concessions. They can do a variety of things that way. We have volunteers help out in our costume shop all the time. That can help under our wonderful costume shop manager, Jess Louise. She has them do a variety of things, from sewing to washing the clothes to whatever, a bunch of different things. So that's great that way. Same thing with our all of our tech stuff as well. We have scene shop volunteers come in all the time that help help our sets come to life on stage, which is really exciting always. And there's just a lot of both of what I said for opportunities and kind of everything in between too. If you're interested in sound, we could probably get you into working with sound stuff. If you're interested in lights, you definitely help out with that type of stuff. It's just kind of
again, something for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want to do, you just talk to one of us, and we can usually get something worked out. So yeah,
absolutely. How do you select the productions for each season, and what criteria do you consider?
Well, I can tell you, for me, I've only been on the play selection committee. This past season, selecting our 2025 season, as I think it was only my second time.
Okay.
So I'm not too well versed in it, but from what I do know, it's a variety of factors. It's what's new, what rights are available, what hasn't been done very much in the area. What are some stories that we really want to tell that we think are important stories that people should know about if they don't already know about them?
Right.
While also, really staying true to some classics as well. Getting some of the old classics that have upheld
that
over
are still
time.
relevant to this day.
Exactly. And so it's kind of a big mixture of things, while also, making sure that there is something for everybody, for our volunteers that do want to come and audition and be in shows, or people who want a crew, all that type of stuff. It's for, that there is a place for everybody, and, it's a really great time in finding things that people want to see and that people want to be involved in, and all of the above. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you say a circle theater contributes to the local arts scene?
Well, I touched on it a little bit before, but it's definitely, we don't have a big theater, right? We have, I believe, I want to say it's like 375 around there seats in the house. And so, it's a lot smaller of a setting, but it's also something where you do feel like you're right there on stage with everybody else. Like, you can reach out and touch some of the actors sometimes if they're, running up and down the aisles, or, any of that. Which
it's more of an interactive kind of experience.
Yeah, exactly. So it feels, I feel like a very enriching experience that you can have, being right there, like, as somebody, especially for me, who I didn't really know what circle was before I was like 13 or whatever it was, right? And showing up to the show and seeing how involved I was, well, not being like in the show, was really, really cool, and inspired me, to take on this whole life of theater now, and this whole, job of theater and marketing and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's a really unique experience being up with everybody, or even just like the concerts. It's something different, where you get to see these really, really well done cover shows of all these different artists, or different spins that they may take on it. I think it's a very unique experience, but we really just stress, being in an intimate setting, and bringing in shows that are just different or interesting, or have, never been done before in the area, but still like good quality shows that you think people would be really interested in. And so, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think makes community theater unique?
Oh, well, being in my position that I am now, right, I've been able to, this entire season, get to know each cast, which has been really unique. I've done a few shows before, or I've been in some of the concerts before, and it's really cool. But even like getting to work with each different cast is so much fun, because community theater as a whole, it's really people from all walks of life coming together to make art on stage, right? And it's really cool. People get here after their 9 to 5s. And they pour their blood, sweat, and tears into a show that's pretty darn amazing half of the time. So I really think it's cool how it brings people together, and people that you wouldn't normally meet, people that you wouldn't normally have these bonds with otherwise, and say like, oh, do you remember when what's his face fell on the floor after he ran off stage? Like that kind of stuff. It's like, it's a really great memory making experience, while also just being around other people that get you, whether you're a Broadway enthusiast, or you're a working musician, or you just want to try out stage crew type of stuff and you never got to, like maybe in high school or something like that. It's not something that you didn't really try to get into until a little bit later, but students can still, of course, be a part of community shows and everything. So it's a really cool, like, big meshing place for everybody to come together and to see shows that mean something, and for, it's great. I love it. So
Yeah, I feel like a lot of newcomers would definitely find their place somewhere, whether they do start like backstage or definitely like
absolutely
kind of work from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've done a few stage crewing things, and it's great because you get to know the inner workings of how all of that works. Kind of, like working with the stage manager or working with whatever people from the production team and designers and all that stuff. You really get to learn the whole inner workings of a show, especially when you have like some of these elaborate shows like Spamalot, which had, how many, 120
like
something?
20 costumes?
Yeah. Where there was, we had a ton of quick change dressers backstage helping out the cast members, become a Laker girl into a nun or something in like 10 seconds. So, very, 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 it's always something different, but it's always something really, I don't know, just really cool to witness and be a part of. And, you just kind of get your foot in the door too.
Somewhere along those lines,
yeah, exactly. So, and without, not necessarily being as like high stress as like a 3-week run, like being on stage. It's still very stressful.
It still is very stressful, yeah.
Yes.
It's that whole hell week you gotta deal with, and then it's just the shows, and then you gotta like get through all that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. But it's like I said, it's a big bond all together, and it always turns out great, and it's a really great way to meet people and just get new friends of all ages too. Especially our range this season was from 9 to 75 of the ages of people that were involved in shows.
That's awesome.
So, really great, really big span, and a really cool thing to have, of all different ages, all walks of life, all coming together with different experiences, coming together to make a show.
Unify and do one
exactly.
thing that we all love to do.
Exactly. So, which I think is really, really beautiful. You get emotional. No, I'm kidding.
That's totally valid.
Yeah.
Theater makes you emotional.
Yeah.
Either step of the way, for sure.
Yes. Absolutely.
Tell me like a bizarre situation that's happened, like at your experience with Circle Theater.
Oh boy. It was really fun ride starting, because I got hired for my internship in May of 2021. So I started during when some of the COVID restrictions were just starting to lift. And so that was unique in itself. But last year during our 2023 season, we were doing, our August production was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And I was the house manager that night. This is when I was still working in the box office. And it was when we had that tornado. And I'm petrified of storms. I hate storms. That's like my main fear in life. So me divulging all my secrets. Not that it's a secret. If you know me, I tell you I hate storms like within like the first like 15 minutes anyway. So I was the house manager, and it was pretty early into the performance too. I want to say it must have been like around, our show started at it started at 7:30. It was before 8. I can tell you that when it happened. But I had walked back into the box office for something, and all of a sudden my phone starts going off, like beeping like crazy, and the 2 other box office workers that were with me, their phones start alerting. And then I hear over the headset the stage manager, she goes, Shannon, there's a tornado warning, and apparently it is right here in our area, like, because that's what the alert said. And I immediately just freak out because my worst nightmare is coming true, that I'm at work. Well, there's a tornado coming, and when you're in the house, it's all cement, so there's not good service in the house, so I couldn't check, like, the weather or anything. But we go into the house, that's part of our safety protocol, because, we're all surrounded in cement, so it's the safest, honestly, and the safest place on campus as well. But the power went out then. And our generator broke, like right in that moment. So it was just pitch black. We had our flashlights going. I had to go and make an announcement on stage, but I was like visibly shaking. So
like barely without any power, you just had to like get everybody off stage and be like,
yeah,
tornado.
I know. And so, but I was like, But very, very luckily, our executive director and artistic director, Lynn Brown-Tepper, was in the building. Our board director was in the building. Our entire cast of Sweeney Todd, the following show, was in the building. So it's not like it was like just me, you know. I felt a lot more better that everybody was there with me. You know, we're all in the same boat together. And so, I mean, it eventually passed over, but it was a lot at the time, and
I bet it was.
So scary. Anyway, so, and whenever I bring it up, people know exactly what I'm talking about because they were there or they heard about it or something. But it was you know.
The Great Michigan Theater Tornado of 23.
Yeah.
Where and when will auditions be posted?
So we will post auditions once we come back from Christmas break, which will be after New Year's. And we'll post it online. We'll put out, you know, an email blast about it. We will put it on our website. All of that. So and our auditions are typically the first weekend of March. So you know, you get a good 2.5 months to prepare. But yeah, we usually try and get it out as soon as everybody's back to break after New Year's festivities and all that, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting to think
and
about.
And anybody can audition, right?
Yes, anybody can audition. You don't need to have, you know, like, if you can't read music, that's fine. I barely read music. It's any age, anything. There is no restrictions whatsoever to who can audition. So even we offer video auditions as well. So, you know, if you can't physically be here for that, if you can physically be here, absolutely, if you can. But if there's, you know, a reason that you can't, video auditions, we can do that as well. But it's a great time for everybody. So to go on, and we audition everything at once, which is more unique to something. We audition all of our musicals at once, all of our plays at once. Everything's within like the same 2-3 days. And then you know, if you get cast, then you won't start rehearsals usually about until like 2 months before the opening of the show. But yeah, we just do it all in one go. Same thing with our summer concert series. That's the following week of main stage auditions. We audition everything at once right again. So it's yeah.
Everything's so spontaneous, and everything's so convenient too. So
yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So if anybody wants to do a self tape,
yeah, and you can just walk right up too. We have
and walk-ins too.
Yeah. You can reserve your slot before time, right? Mm-hmm. But we absolutely accept walk-ins as well. So we always make sure we have a little bit of room for, you know, walk-ins in each amount of people and everything.
Great for our newcomers too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
What role does Circle Theater play in fostering community engagement and inclusivity, as well as supporting emerging artists and playwrights in the community?
I've heard many stories from at least people that have started out acting here, right? Who take that first. You know, a lot of people get their start in community theater, which is great. It's just, you know, more of a small version of what people do work, you know, like professionally in theater. And, you know, people were, if you go to Chicago for theater, if you go to New York, you know, any of all of that. There have been multiple people that have found success in community theater, and because of that, it is, you know, been able to, the cards have worked out for them in getting further in theater productions and professional theater work, which is great. Same thing with designers. There have been multiple, especially I know of a few wig designers that have worked in our community, and now they're, you know, working on touring Broadway shows and all that type of stuff. So it's a great way to really kind of put yourself out there and just get your hands dirty. Kind of.
Somewhere along those lines, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think, you know, especially, you know, like when selecting our season specifically with everything, we do try and, you know, make sure that there is something for everybody to either come and see, to come and audition for, I think it's a really great way to cultivate our audience so that they're you can see maybe stories similar to your own right on stage, and making our audiences feel seen and heard. And same thing, like with our emerging artists and stuff, being able to work in the scene shop, in the tech, in with our directors, if like an assistant director can come in and help, or same thing with the dramaturg or anything like that. It's really a great place to get involved, whether it be volunteering or in an actual production team role, anything like that, to really cultivate people's love for the arts and bringing it to a new level, I think. So yeah.
Have we had any notable alumni who have started theater at Circle and have progression into regional or even Broadway stuff?
Oh boy, there are multiple. There are.
If you can name it.
Yes, I believe so. Emily Stein, she did a bunch of backstage work and wigging and dressing and costuming work, both at Circle and Civic, and she's done a handful of Broadway shows now. She just did Tootsie on Broadway, where she's working out there professionally. She's working on a variety of other shows. There are, I believe, there are so many names that I know have worked and done things here, and now they're, working in Chicago now. Or they're, working out at the Froenthal in Muskegon, or they're it's usually Chicago. Right. So, but no, there are many. There are not a ton of names I can think of right off the top of my head, because I want to make sure I got all of my facts correct, because everything kind of blurs together in my brain with who's done.
We can add more in post. So,
yeah, but there have definitely been quite a few though who have gone on to work further. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you provide information about accessibility and inclusivity initiatives at Circle?
Yeah, absolutely. We, like I mentioned, we try to do a lot of different shows to include people from all walks of life to either come and see, to be a part of. We also really try, for accessibility needs, right? You can absolutely, be in shows. We have, our fabulous designers come together to really make everything as easy as possible for everybody that, has, if they have a disability of any, shape or form, to making that the best possible experience for them, right? And even for our audience, right? We have our elevators here, and we have a T-loop hearing system as well, for those who may be hard of hearing, so there's things like that, but it's really, all around. We try to, or if people say hey, we'd really like to see this, and we're great, absolutely, we will incorporate something along those lines. So it's been, we really try our best to make it accessible for everybody, or even with ticket prices, all that kind of stuff. We have our student pricing. We have rush tickets that if you come day of and to buy your tickets, it's 50% off. So it's people, if you can't afford or don't want to get a full price ticket like that, but still want to see the show, we offer a variety of things that can make
a pay what you want kind of thing.
Not necessarily. It's more of we have all of our our usual ticket prices. Mm-hmm. They'd be 50% off if you bought them day of in line. So at the show. So mm-hmm. Yeah. But variety of things.
Yeah. No.
I'm
I was thinking it would be the same thing with Civic too. You guys kind of share a similar vibe with everything.
Yeah, we don't do that, but we do have a lot of reduced pricing options. Gotcha. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We love that.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we find more information about Grand Rapids Circle Theater?
So they can do a bunch of things. The best place is probably our website, circletheater.org. That has all of our information about us, about our upcoming season, about all of our initiatives, what we're about, how to audition, how to donate, how to volunteer. everything. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook just by searching Circle Theater. And you can kind of see what we're up to more on the daily, right? Or our weekly. But the website's the best place, but you can kind of learn more about us over social media as well. So
We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you.
Do you want to say anything else to like our audience and whatnot, or
No.
if you want? But
come see shows.
come see shows here.
Yeah, come see our 2025 season. I'm very, very, very excited about it. I live here basically. So, I'm excited.
Who
to
doesn't
see
want to live in the circle or whatnot?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to live in the circle?
Yeah.
So,
In the circle.
in the circle.
Be a part of our circle.
Be a part of the circle.
Yeah.